Hey, it's your dad. Your mom has sent me an SMS today that says, last night you were talking about how scary the coronavirus is and that it makes you fear death, but also ask, what is the meaning of life? Well, I hope you don't mind if I get ready for work here as I get started in the office and tell you a little bit about what exactly that answer is and delve into those psychological and philosophical expanses. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is number one, very philosophical question you got from me there. It is not a dumb question. It is actually a great question, and no question is a dumb question unless it is one that you've had to listen to 2 times because you didn't listen the first time. And yes, the answer to should you clean your room is again, yes, you should clean your room. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Nice, nice. Okay, let's get started. Like I said, there's no one answer, okay? First of all, you got to take into consideration that we all come from different parts of the world, different levels of industrialization within the nations that we are born, and the families we are brought up in, their traditions, their religions, their customs, their spirituality. There's so many factors. So for me to tell you this one thing is the meaning of life is ridiculous. There is no such thing as one answer to the meaning of life. Sadly, our levels of world mortality rate, modernization, medical needs, even basic everyday needs vary from country to country. In those where it's still a third world country and modernization is very low key as far as industrialization is, it's third world as well. Maybe there's things not like running water, hygienic systems in place, electricity that runs in more than 8 hours a day, proper utilities, essential government grids. You're looking at Maslow's very first level of the pyramid, the meaning to life. Some would call it the pyramid of needs. Honestly, to me, I always look at this as a meaning to life. When you are barely scraping to get by and you're the poorest of the poor in one of the poorest countries, to be able to feed and give your family water every day is your meaning of life. To be able to survive daily with your family is your meaning of life. I know myself as a father to you, my wonderful kiddo, I would make this my number one if I were living in a country like this. I wouldn't care about any sort of wealth. There would be no watches on my arms, no iPad or iPod in my pocket. I would be scrounging, working hard, breaking my back for food and water first. That would be my meaning of life, to give you the next level of life. Now, for the next one, it's safety. Once you've gotten past the basic everyday needs and you know they're coming in, you know you're at least going to get that essential amount of water and food every day, you can move on to safety. Will you be secure? Will you have employment? Will you have resources? Will you have your health? Are there proper medical facilities? Okay? Perhaps if you yourself do not have these things in your life, you may make them your meaning of life. For example, if you live in a country with very bad medical standards and institutions, you may look into a career in that, hoping to not only make life better for you yourself, your family, and the greater village around you, but life in general in your country, place, area, town, origin, whatever. Make sense? Let's move on. Love and belonging. Now, personally, I would put this almost near the top, but we've got it here in the middle, and I understand why, because there is another level to that. And that is the self-actualization level that we will get into further, which pretty much includes all these below, especially love and belonging. We all want to belong. Let's be honest. The last video question you sent me was asking about how you can belong better at school. I answered that. I told you about not worrying about it, that real friends come as you realize who those real people are in your life. And that's part of growing up. That's part of understanding human emotions, interactions, which are real, which are fake, what friends are going to try and pat you on the back while they're holding a knife and stab you instead. Okay? let's take a look at friendship, intimacy, family, and sense of connection. How do you connect to the world around you? All right? Do you feel right now that you're in an environment in which you feel loved, accepted? If not, your new meaning of life might be to either find or create that connection. That could be many, many multifaceted things. All right? For example, you may start a church, a community. You may start a religious community. You may start a community for your belief systems that may go beyond just spiritual and into the realms of even paranormal, supernatural, okay? It can be anything. The games you play, all right? It can be even down to how you identify yourself. Are you a boy? Are you a girl? Who do you love? What do you love in your life? Anything and everything in between, including sex, race, anything. You can make a group for it and belong to it and connect to it. You can also find your friends there, and within those friends, you can find the love that you need. That could be your meaning to life. Now, for others, it may be that they themselves did not have a great family. Now, this can be a very objective and subjective view of many different types of families throughout the world. What makes a good family and a bad family, I am not the one to decide that, okay? That is not my place to decide. What I am saying is if someone feels that they did not fulfill that in their youth, they may then make their adulthood a chance to go after the perfect family in their mind. Now, is that family going to be perfect? No, there is no such thing as the perfect family, okay? I eat too much ice cream, mom gets angry, you know how this works, okay? But in your mind, just having two kids that are wonderful, a boy and a girl or whatever you may want, and having that white picket fence in America may be your thing, all right? That's not my thing. You know how our life is. It's crazy. But whatever to you feels like a family and becomes a family for you is possibly what your meaning to life was and is or is going to be. Let's move on. Esteem, all right? Respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, strength, freedom. This is more career-oriented or perhaps life goal-oriented. As I said in yesterday's video, I talked about going into a passion, a job that you love, that you enjoy doing every day. Yeah, that's important. But are there life goals or bucket goals that you thought you would want to have? And have you accomplished any of those? If you haven't, have you finished all the goals below the esteem level? If so, maybe it's time to make that esteem level your new meaning to life. Yes, that's right. As we've been going through all these, the meaning to life has changed. And your meaning to life will change throughout your own. Now, you may have started out saying, I want to be an artist. You become an artist. You may say, I want to make a comic book that everybody reads. You make that comic book. I want to be the best of the best in the comic book world. And you start winning all kinds of awards and everything for your comic book. Maybe there's another level above that. As an illustrator, I don't know what it is. It's different with every career, okay? For me, that would be my lifetime goal. I would love to have some of my artwork noticed worldwide. I don't think that will ever happen. I would honestly be quite satisfied if, for instance, both of my kiddos grew up to be happy and had a great life. I think I would feel very fulfilled. That being said, let's move on to self-actualization. Who are you? Why were you put on this earth, okay? How do you serve everybody the best? To me, honestly, when I look at this one, and oh, trust me, I've thought about this one a lot, because I am reaching the point in my life where I want to find that one. I feel like this is learning how to return all the love that you've gotten through your entire life. Now, I'm not saying every day is lovey-dovey. I'm not saying every day is a bunch of rainbows and bright, happy smiles. What I'm telling you is that there are moments you can go back to in your life and say, oh, I remember that teacher. I remember that friend. I remember that family member, how they held me up when everything feels like it was just falling apart or I was so sad I could barely keep my mind together. That really touched me. That really made me feel special. That really brightened my day. That really gave me the courage to keep on going when I thought I had nothing left. How can I give that same feeling back to other people in my life and in my world? Self-actualization. How can you give back to everyone who has given so much to you? This is how the cycle of life works, my friends. All right? This is what you need to be focusing on as you reach the top of that pyramid. How can you give back the love? How can you give back all the things people have done to help you? When will you get that chance to insert yourself and say, you were there for me during my hardest times. It is now time for me to be there for you. I hope today I've been there for you as well. Kiddo, I hope you're doing good in school. Keep those grades up. All right? I'm watching you. I'm making mom scan every test. Enough of that, though. You know I love you. Do your best always, and remember, I believe in everything you do.